In this video lesson, we're going to cover some overview, some fundamentals of the sentence correction section on the GMAT. So what is sentence correction? I think the name kind of says something about itself, but maybe the more important question is, why do we care about sentence correction? And the main reason is communication, or specifically effective communication. Writing is one of the main forms of communication that we use every day and clearly in the professional setting. So, writing grammatically correct, unambiguous, and hopefully concise sentences is one of the main tools that can kind of improve our effectiveness as professionals. So, that's the goal of the sentence correction on the GMAT, to improve our writing skills. And for sentence correction, for this section, there are two main criteria that we're going to look for in each question. We're going to look for answers choices that first and foremost convey the correct meaning, the meaning that the author wants to express, and and the correct answer choice would do so unambiguously. In other words, it's impossible to interpret it with a different meaning. And the second criterion that correct answer choices must have would be correct grammar, right? Correct answer choices would be grammatically correct. And the third criterion, now the first two that I mentioned are must have, but this third one is a nice to have, which is concision. The correct answer choice, if allowed, would be concise, would be kind of natural to the ear. Yeah, I guess sounds quite ambiguous, but concision might be something more concrete. So yeah, the correct answer choice would be concise, but then again, not all the time the most concise or one of the more concise answer choices are the correct answer choices. Sometimes the correct answer choice is just one that is grammatically correct and doesn't have ambiguous meaning. That's enough for a correct answer choice. And so that leads to a very key, I would say, concept in the sentence correction, a key approach in the sentence correction section on the GMAT, which is we're not going to find the correct answer choice directly. We're going to find the correct answer choice by eliminating the wrong answer choices. So we're going to have to compare the 5 answer choices, see which ones have correct meaning, correct grammar, and then among those, we're going to pick the one that is the most concise. So that leads to the situation that the correct answer choice might not be the most concise one, as long as it is grammatically correct. The meaning is there, is what the author wants it to be, and it's just better than the answer choices. Then that is enough for the answer choice to be the correct one, right? So remember, we're not looking for the perfect answer choice. We're not looking for the ideal answer choice. We're only looking for the one that is better than the other the other 4 answer choices in the question, right? So that leads to the next key thing that I want you to take away from this video lesson, and pretty much the key thing I want you to take away from this entire sentence correction as you go through and practice, which is in the beginning phase, you want to identify as many errors, as many kind of mistakes, um, grammar or meaning, or just being too wordy, too verbose in every answer choice, as find as many errors as possible. That would help you internalize the different error types on the GMAT, and that would be really useful when you go to take the real test. Finding finding errors, finding mistakes, eliminating wrong answer choices would become second nature to you once you kind of go through the motion of understanding different types of different types of errors on the GMAT. Okay, so there are 6 kind of main topics in sentence correction, but don't need to worry about them for now. We're gonna have different video lessons that go deep dive into these later. But so far, yeah, the key things I want you to take away would be the criteria for correct answer choice, and then the approach would, which is finding as many errors as possible in every answer choice. All right, so now let's take a look at an example of a sentence correction question. So they're going to give you a sentence, and then there's going to be a portion that is underlined. Sometimes the entire sentence is underlined. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 5 answer choices, find the one that is going to best replace the underlying part here. Best replace as in meeting the meaning criterion, the grammar criterion, and then after those two, maybe the most concise one, right? And answer choice A is always going to be the same as the original underlying portion. So if you choose A, you're saying that the original sentence is the best among the 5 answer choices here. There's no answer choice that provides kind of like a better alternative, right? So the general approach for sentence correction would be to read through the sentence, the original sentence, identify the main subject and verb of the sentence, because that would be critical for understanding the meaning that the author is trying to express. Focus on the subject and the verb of the sentence. Sometimes sometimes it could be like a complex sentence or a sentence with several pairs of subject verb. So try to identify all of them, and then subject verb in clauses, and then modifiers, and then understand what they are trying to modify. That would be tremendously helpful in understanding correctly the meaning of the sentence. All right. Okay, so after that, we are going to look at the answer choices, and then we are going to pay attention to their differences, or as usually as a kind of like the typical GMAT term for it is split, looking for split. So for example, here you can see that these 5 answer choices are different in that A and B use has not only captured, and yeah, C also uses has not only captured, but D and E are different. Not only has captured, not only captured. So E uses past simple tense. D uses simple perfect tense, same as A, B, and C, but the position of not only is different. And then after the but also, we have something different in each answer choice. For A is force them, and then for B, it is not but also, but it also force them. And then C is force these companies, not them. For D, it is these companies have been forced. So a subject verb clause instead of a verb phrase like force them in A, or B, also force them in B, or force these companies in C. These 3 are verb phrases, but in D, this is an actual entire subject verb clause. Yeah. So those are, say, split the differences among the 5 answer choices. Pay attention to them, and then try to understand if they make sense, and if not, why. Right? Go back to what I said earlier. Trying to identify as many errors as possible in each answer choice. That will really help you. That will really help you reinforce different errors that the GMAT actually tests. And yeah, once you go through all those different error types, they would become identifying them would become second nature to you. All right, so that's the general approach to sentence correction. So in the next video lessons, we're going to start applying this to real examples to make it more concrete.